Is social media reasonably safe for children and adolescents? Now that is a question we should have asked before handing it to millions of children. But then here we are. So this is what the experts argue. If you look carefully across multiple kinds of evidence, the answer is no. Not no in a theatrical sense, not no in a panic-stricken sense, but no in the sober evidence-based sense. That should make any society stop and think. See, there are 7 different lines of evidence to support this no. Let's look at them. Young people themselves describe harm. Parents, teachers, and clinicians describe harm. Corporate documents reveal that companies knew troubling things. Cross-sectional studies suggest problems. Longitudinal studies suggest problems over time. Reduction experiments suggest people can feel better with less use. And natural experiments offer further clues. Now, none of those on its own settles the whole matter forever. Science is not a courtroom drama with one stunning final witness. It is cumulative. But when many forms of evidence begin pointing in the same direction, wisdom requires that we pay attention. And what is especially compelling here is that the scale and diversity of the harms. Some are rather direct. Cyberbullying, harassment, sextortion, exposure to abuse. Others are indirect. Depression, anxiety, social comparison, sleep disruption, compulsive use, and the slow corrosion of emotional stability. See, and the arguments are not merely that some individuals are harmed. It is that the harm may be widespread enough to shape well-being at the population level. This is an extraordinary claim, but if true, it changes everything. Because once a product begins influencing a whole generation's emotional baseline, we are no longer talking about private preference. We are talking about public consequence. And then comes the historical question. Did the rise of always available social media in the early 2010s help drive increase in the adults and men's mental health illnesses seen in many Western countries? The reports on the World Happiness Report argues yes, not as a sole cause, but as a substantial contributor. Now, reasonable people may still debate pieces of that argument. That is what serious societies do. But the larger point is unavoidable. We would never accept a toy, a medicine, or a food product being rolled out to children at a global scale without asking whether it was safe. So why should platforms engineered to capture attention, shape identity, and mediate social status receive a lower standard of scrutiny? Perhaps the question is not whether young people are strong enough to survive a harmful digital environment. Perhaps the right question is, why did we design one? Let me know what you think of why did we design this. I'll look forward to them in the comments.